understanding multiplication of integers. So there's a little trick you can use called the tic-tac-toe trick. First you want to draw a tic-tac-toe board, and on the diagonal draw in 3 positives. And the rest of the empty spaces you can just put all negatives. The way it works is you read from left to right, positive times a negative equals a negative. A negative times a positive equals a negative. A negative times a negative equals a positive. You can also read it diagonal. Positive times a positive is a negative. Negative times a positive is a negative. Now the only thing we have to be careful about is it does not work for adding and subtracting integers. Let's take a look at an example. So we have negative 6 times 2. Well, we know 6 times 2 is 12, but a negative times a positive, let's look at our tic-tac-toe board, a negative times a positive is a negative. So negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. Okay, let's look at this one. Now if you take a look here, we have parentheses, but just because there's no multiplication sign, there's actually an imaginary one. So this really says negative 9 times negative 4. We know 9 times 4 is 36, and then if we take a look at our tic-tac-toe chart, a negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, third example, 7 times negative 3. Well, we know 7 times 3 is 21. And if I look at my tic-tac-toe chart, a positive times a negative is a negative. So the answer is negative 21. And the last one, 5 times 4, we know that's 20, but to use it on the tic-tac-toe board because it's a positive times a positive, we use the diagonal.